to episode number 3 of Ramble On. I am joined today by the wonderful Mr. Churd.
Hello.
Yes, that's the time to say hello, Churd. And the tiny but very mighty Sophie Burrell. And I say Burrell. I know you say Burrell.
Burrell, yeah. Either is great. Hello, everyone. Good evening. How are we doing?
You do pronounce your surname Burrell,
Burrell,
don't you?
yeah, but half my family pronounce it Burrell, so I'm really fine with whatever.
Well, we'll just call you Sophie today. It makes it easier.
That's fine.
So, yeah, how are you doing? You okay?
I'm good, thank you. How are you guys?
I'm fine, yeah. All good.
You two haven't met before, have you?
We have not met before.
No, this is our first time.
What's your first impressions then? You've got to describe each other. 3 words right now. Go.
Hairy?
That was going to be my one.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I beat you to it. I can't think of 3. Hairy?
I can think of 3 words to describe Churd, don't worry.
Hairy, smiley, and has fancy in-ears that I am envious of.
Yeah, rich. That's the word.
Rich.
We have this ongoing thing that Churd's loaded.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's not.
Look at his smug loaded face. Come on, Churd. 3 words to describe Sophie. Go.
Tiny by her own volition. Very friendly.
oh,
So
that's
far.
nice. I just went straight in. Hairy. Some people could take that as an insult. I don't, obviously, because I'm also. All of us have all the hair, so you know. So it's fine. It's no insult. It's no insult. If anything, it's a compliment.
Thanks. I have a bit of an advantage in that I've seen your Instagram before and your YouTube, so I already know that you're a dead boss guitar player.
Oh, thank you very much.
So you can be boss. That's my favourite
Boss.
adjective.
Okay, I will take that. Very cool.
You do work for them, so that's good.
I didn't know that.
Drop that one in there.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Let's that random 3-word introduction out of the way, which was totally not planned and may get cut. So today we are going to be starting the show with our usual gear and beer.
Hooray.
And we're going to talk about some interesting happenings in the guitar community. Rob Chapman being exposed. Ooh, controversial.
We're going to be talking about all of our favourite gear from NAMM. I think we should call ourselves the NAMM Rejects, the 3 that didn't go, that stayed at home, and are just trolling through the hashtag on Instagram, wishing we were there playing guitar all day. And then that will take us to New Year's resolutions and sort of plans for 2020. I'm assuming one of them is going to be to go to NAMM next year.
Right, yeah.
I would say so. Definitely.
But let's not ruin that section.
Road trip.
Woo!
Road trip, indeed. Right, gear and beer. Who's going first?
You're going first.
Right. Today, I have a can of... Can you see?
Brewdog.
It's Brewdog. It's called Clockwork Tangerine, and it is a citrus session IPA.
It looks very delicious.
Well, this is where I try to read on the back, which sometimes goes wrong, and I usually... Last time I said something about having a sessionable shit.
That was incredible.
This is a fully automated sessionable IPA infused with tangerine, perfectly timed delivery of juicy citrus and mellow tropical fruits, followed by subtle hints of caramel and toast.
Toast.
If I knew that, you could just chuck a bit of toast into the brewing process of beer. That sounds great.
I do like a good bit of toast.
Toast in a pint. This sounds amazing. I might start having this for breakfast. All wrapped up in a medium-bodied ale. Director's cut for the 21st century. A Clockwork Tangerine IPA precision for the people.
Well, that's really quite fascinating, actually. I'm
Good
impressed.
job it wasn't any longer than that.
What do you have, Churd?
It smells exactly like a tangerine. Churd, go.
I have a surreal stout. Ooh. By Dark Arts.
I want to know where you pulled that from.
Where did I get that from?
You look like you pulled it out of your ass.
He did.
It's all very magical.
The dark arse.
Yeah, it's a stout. I'm a big fan of the dark beers. Enjoy now or later? I'm going to enjoy it now.
Is that it? After all that I read,
Genuinely.
I think what you do, I think you've started picking your beers based on how little you have to read out, and that is no way to select a beer.
It's that's what it says, mate.
It's the one with the
on, then.
longest description wins, isn't it? That's the rule.
It's gonna go in the victory tankard though. Wait.
Oh, Churd has a victory tankard.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Don't worry, mine's on the floor, Sophie. Like, mine's just...
in the can.
Do you want to know?
Absolutely.
Do you want to know? Oh no, I've reported it badly again. Let's talk about that in a minute. Sophie, what have you brought with
You
you?
did this last time.
So I look like an alcoholic compared to you two with your nice little cans. I got a Brothers toffee apple cider because I think that's tastier
wow.
than beer, personally. I like a good, I like sweeties, I like sweet things. So what does this say? Brothers, I don't know if I mentioned that. Made by 4 brothers in Somerset. At the heart of this cider, you'll find a story of dedication, invention, and brotherhood. Just like our history, this flavour is worth discovering. A blend of cream soda and smouldering toffee with a rich, creamy finish. Bring out your curiosity. What is this? Served chilled over ice, gluten-free, suitable for vegans. So even better.
Wow. You know what? Yeah, I think you might win, and your perfect one-time delivery is something to be admired there.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Got a degree in English, haven't I? Ooh!
Oh, but your pouring skills, I might be still in the lead.
I got it all over my fucking leg.
Oh, no.
Well, the camera got that as well, so.
Well,
Excellent.
That has
brought
never happened to me before.
You brought a cider to a beer and gear feature, so
That's what I fucking get. I get what I deserve. Oh
yeah.
my God. Totally deserve that. It's okay.
gear and beer and oh dear. That's all. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, guys. I don't know what to cheers.
Cheers.
To Brewdog endorsement.
Ah, wonderful. Tasty.
So, now let's talk about gear. Yeah. Anyone got any new gear?
Well, kind of, I guess. I've received a couple of things, done a couple of
That's cool.
reviews recently, one of which actually ties into something we were going to talk about to do with NAMM later. But did you see the review I did of the Spark guitar amp by Positive Grid?
Yes, I did actually. I did, and I've been a follower of them for quite a few. I've got Bias Effects too.
Yes.
And I use that for demoing when I can't be bothered setting my full
rig up.
So, but have you used that your amp then? They sent you
No, but I was the last person to review it. You see, and I haven't had to send it back yet, so I can play with that as much as I wish. Really, at the moment,
I've had a few like that. You wonder when they're going to come a knocking. It can get up to 5 years.
Oh wow, let's hope then I get to keep that. I'm probably the only person aside of Positive Grid to have that amp right now anyway, because it's not been released yet. So I am one very lucky person.
Wow, that's really cool.
Wow, what do you think of it then?
I love it. Yeah, it's literally, I think it's going to be a huge game changer for the way people practice and the way people learn, and even like the way people teach. The whole like backing track in that amp thing, and you can get it all up on your phone and follow along. Like I really think it's gonna change the world.
Have you used it, Churd?
I haven't. Right,
Have you used anything?
What's it called? Positive? No, the other one. Bias.
Bias Effects.
Bias.
Yeah, I've used Bias a couple of times. I'm a big fan of the simplicity of just plugging in, not having to set up any rigs.
That's fair.
For me, I always find that. So that demo that we were talking about yesterday. In fact, you both know the song. We'll just call it Pink. You know which one I'm talking about. That was all Bias, everything, until I redid it last night.
At 5 a.m.
What I find really, yeah, until 5 a.m. What I find really interesting, obviously, I've only ever sort of heard back through my monitors and heard back through headphones. So to take all their technology and put it into a head, into an amp, I'd really like to hear it in a room.
Great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just awesome. Like the fact that you can just get so many tones in one little amp, all from your smartphone, and they're really small, so it's easily portable. Like it's a great practice amp, and like I said earlier, if you're teaching as well, like going to people's houses and stuff, rather than having, I used to walk around with my Black Star, which had valves in it and stuff, which was quite annoying and heavy. And you could only get a couple of tones out of that, you know. But with this, it's like super light, and you can get all the different tones and everything. It's just great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Yeah, I go around, well, at the moment when I'm like traveling like away with work and I'm still teaching Skype, I take my little Vox Mini G3, which is pretty good, and you get a lot of good tones out of it. But when you're slamming it in a rucksack and then you're taking your guitar and your bag and your suitcase, I'm like, like need something smaller with more tones. But I might check that out. You know, that sounds cool.
You should.
You plugged it in and it sounded good in a room out of the cab.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think it has an output to be able to plug it into a cab, which would be the only thing I would add to it, I think.
As long as it sounds good for practicing and teaching, that's what I would use it for. I'll have to check out, because I'm currently using a Blackstar Fly for teaching around houses, just mainly because it's battery powered and I don't have to go hunting for people's wall sockets. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it's always an additional awkward encounter you have to have when you go to people's houses, which I don't do anymore. I don't actually do that anymore.
Crawling around on all fours, like where's the outlet? I need to plug in my massive amp. Like Gollum.
Oh my god.
Have you got any gear, Churd?
No, the only thing that I've got some pedals behind me that I bought semi recently that I've not. I've got a TC Sub and Up Mini and a TC Flashback 2. They're going on a small board, maybe my acoustic board.
Wow.
Okay, cool. That rivals the Pog, doesn't it? The Sub and Up.
Yeah, and you can fiddle about with it with your phone, save tone prints, and have modulation on your tone prints or all sorts of fancy stuff.
That sounds quite groovy.
Yeah, I mainly want to use it on an acoustic guitar and make it sound like a bass for looping stuff.
That's cool. I kind of freak out with the whole phone thing though. Like, I don't know. I don't know whether it's for me. It seems like too much faff. It's like the Eventide. The H9, all the things you can do, and I'm just like, I feel like I don't want to go that much into the parameters. I know maybe in the studio you'd be like, oh, we can massively like fine tune the perfects out, but I don't know. I feel like that kind of freaks me out a little bit. Do you think it's going to go more that way? They're going to be bringing more like Bluetooth controllable.
I think so. Kind of. You're not millennial enough to deal with this. I can eat that shit right up.
Says the guy who's controlling his camera currently with his phone.
I know, and I'm the youngest one here, and I ain't even doing that. So says something.
Yeah, well, I'm millennial in some ways more than others, and Bluetooth guitar pedals is not one of them.
Speaking of Bluetooth and guitar pedals, you spoke about H9. That it'll tie in nicely to NAMM in a bit, but they've just released a new algorithm for that. That's really cool.
What is it?
It's a tri-chorus. It's called the Tri-Chorus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, the only new gear that I've got by proxy is going to be Luna from Universal Audio, because I've got an Apollo 8 and I'm going to get a free download of a new DAW to run, which is cool. I'm excited to try that out. Being able to record using all of the Unison plugins with no latency sounds good. We'll see whether that keeps me within the Mac ecosystem when it's time to upgrade at some point this year. The other thing I've got is a Canon 5D Mark II with 4 new lenses, which one of my students very kindly gifted to me at Christmas.
That's pretty amazing.
And he's a student / friend, and he just had it lying around and knows how much I'm sort of trying to branch out with like photography and filmmaking down here and stuff as well. And he was like, I used to shoot weddings on the side. Can you make any use out of, will you get any use out of this? And I said, ordinarily I would be like, you know what? You don't have to do that. That's too generous. But I snapped his hand. I was like, yep, I can make use out of it.
That's amazing.
And those lenses, like, thank you so much. So
that's cool. Very cool.
Has anyone ever given you something substantial like that before and you've just been like, oh my God, that's so generous?
A PRS.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. That's probably the Oh, I can't even, I just can't even. Literally, that was the wildest thing ever, and it has changed my life. And I am forever in that person's debt. And there is literally nothing I can do to, thank him enough other than buy him a PRS. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. That's wild.
There's good people, very, very...
People are nice.
Good people out there. And
it makes me, get faith in humanity once again,
Yeah. Well,
people are still nice.
Yeah, totally.
We can talk about that shortly.
Oh, God.
Are you ready
Yes, indeed.
to play Guess the Guitarist?
Okay.
Both of you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Right. Here it is.
Oh, fuck.
That's sick.
I was thinking Jared, is it Jared? Oh, fuck. I keep wanting to say Jared Dines. That's not what I mean. Jared Nichols? Is that what his name? But then it started tapping. It doesn't sound like Jared.
Oh, I know who you mean.
The blues power guy.
Yeah, Danny played with him.
Yes, that one. It's not him though, is it?
James Nichols, isn't
it? That is it.
Okay.
I'm gonna get drunk. Oh my god.
Churd. I'm gonna get drunk.
I'm gonna get drunk.
I don't know. It's not gonna be Joss again, is it?
I wouldn't pick Joss twice in a row.
I know,
Joss would probably be like, "Oi, what are you doing, you weirdo? Pick someone else."
It's the type of thing you'd do there.
No, it isn't.
Screw me over.
I would actually. It would be something that I do just to screw you over.
Throw you off.
Oh, I can't think off the top of my head.
Someone influenced by Van Halen, maybe.
It's not that important that you get it right, Churd. It's just more important that we finish before.
He feels under pressure.
Yeah, I hate this bit.
Pressure.
There's a lick in there that I recognise because I think I've stolen it before. When he did the little tapping thing and you go, that's my recreation of that.
Oh, I know what you mean.
It was fucking good.
Yeah,
it was good.
There's a little pentatonic-y thing. But he slid a tap. It's clever.
It's good when they slide a tap.
Did he, Churd? Or did she? Letting your own side.
Who is it? Who the fuck is it? Come on,
I don't know.
tell me.
I give up. I don't think I can.
Good job you took 5 minutes to give up, Churd.
Thanks.
That's all I'm going to say.
Thanks, mate.
Sophie.
Jason Richardson.
Okay. It was Jared Dines.
Was it actually? For fuck's sake, I said, can I get half a point because I said Jared?
You said, I don't want to say Jared Dines.
It didn't sound like Jared. I should know that, really, shouldn't I? Shows how in touch I am. Imagine if I would have seen the clip, then I'd be straight on it, you know. Ugh.
Well, obviously, because
I don't spend enough time on the gram, despite it being where I spend all my time.
You do. I see you on the gram every day.
Yeah, you do.
So the thing that we're going to talk about today is
Rob Chapman.
Rob Chapman exposed.
Da-da-da.
Perfect.
Oh my god.
So,
dear.
Coming at it from a completely unbiased opinion, let's try and inform anyone who hasn't seen it sort of what's going on, and you can make your own judgments. So there's a gentleman whose YouTube handle is KDH, and he put up a video exposing Rob Chapman. He'd done one previously on Glenn Fricker, just calling out people who have done wrong and people have forgotten about it. And it's more, the thing that I got from it was it's supposed to be entertaining, not liable.
Yeah, but it's shot with a persona, and it's shot with a style. So it's not just ranting like I would do it. As like, I'm really annoyed by this. It's like, oh my god, like, let's talk in this way about it. He's Irish, isn't he? The guy.
That didn't sound Irish to me.
No, I'll do it again. I don't think it's the only Irish accent I can do. Let's talk about how Rob Chapman's actually done this, and this. It's shot to be an entertainment piece for self gain, I think, to go viral and get the subscribers. But there is that kind of underlying. It wants to inform and call out some bullshit. I'm doing that because I'm being impartial.
So KDH has this series called Audio Audit, where he calls out wrongdoings of people in the YouTube community. He started off with Glenn Fricker and then has gone on to Rob Chapman. Basically in his video, we should post some links or something to do with it, but he says about, do you remember the Ice Bucket Challenge?
Yeah, the ALS thing.
Yeah.
This is the whole charity thing, isn't it? About like coming out and saying, and I donate to my own charities, etc.
So the argument was the Ice Bucket Challenge thing happened, and then Rob Chapman said that he wasn't going to partake in it, and instead set up his own challenge, the Rob Chapman Challenge. And some people thought that was in bad taste. Some people sort of could see where Rob was coming from, saying that he would get people not happy where he was donating his money to, and that he does plenty of charity work behind the scenes. That was one of the topics. And then later on, he goes on to explain about Chapman Guitars and Riff City. Did you ever follow Riff City?
Yeah, the guitar store in America.
Yeah.
And they were the first
they championed
store
Chapman
to stock the entire collection, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah. So they championed Chapman, and was the only store in America doing it. So they had them exclusively, and then parted ways. And recently, unfortunately, Riff City have stopped, and Joe from Riff City has put out a few things since this has all come to light with another perspective.
Interesting.
Yep.
It's hard when you've got that many subscribers. They're going to be loyal and they're going to go off.
I think this is one of the main points.
Of course they will.
One of the main points is that in the original KDH video was that he can come across as bullying behaviour to threaten smaller channels or smaller people on the internet with your fan base. And if you know that if you say one thing and you know for a fact that your fans are going to follow that to the T, regardless of how right or wrong it might be, you have a responsibility to then not do that thing that's going to cause harm.
What was the comeback? What did he threaten him with?
So the timeline goes, KDH brought out his video exposing Chapman. Then there was a response video to that called Chapman's Truth, or My Truth by Rob Chapman. And he goes in to try and debunk what KDH says. And then lots of other little or big YouTube channels have now started to get involved, which is why it's interesting to cover, because it's relevant news, guys. So there's a channel that I follow, and I've met this guy. He's a lovely fella called Levi Clay. He's got a YouTube channel. He comments about specifically the Ice Bucket Challenge reference because he was part of that debacle. There's a fella called the Guitarologist. He's got quite a big channel on YouTube who sort of does like the Guitarologist reacts to KDH's video, and again he does quite a good job of sitting on the fence about the points. And then most recently there's a gentleman called Diovidas, if I've pronounced his name properly, and he's sort of now like a conduit for KDH responding. He's got a huge channel. He then goes through not just Rob's reply, but also KDH replying to some of the things that Chapman said in his Truth video. And one of the scariest things is KDH was forced to take the video down because obviously the mobilised army of Chapman fans, and one of them got quite personal.
Ooh.
Where a guy had found out where the guy was from, because he's Irish, and he found out, I think through a competition that he had been in like school, which school he went to, and then he basically suggested, what was the quote? The quote was, "How did that rape charge go?"
Oh.
And Rob then responded to that with a comment that was, holy shit. Which one could say is, what he should have said is, don't do that. That's horrible.
Interesting. Oh, it's so gossipy, isn't it? Jesus.
But the video's back up anyway, so everything...
Interesting.
I think what people should do is people should go watch KDH's original video, watch Chapman's video,
get an opinion.
Levi's and the Guitarologists and Devidas's, and then come to your own conclusions. Maybe some other things will happen. But the bottom line, guys, is that you just got to be nice to each other.
Yeah, right. I don't understand this. It's all the time. I see it more and more like, what is the point in just starting beef for the sake of starting beef? It's the same with like comment sections, like in a sense that people will go out of their way to do horrible things and I just don't understand why. Like, I understand if you don't agree with something, that's totally fine, but just you don't always have to share your fucking opinion. It's I just and then it all gets blown out of well, literally it does go back to that, doesn't it? And it all gets blown out of proportion so much, whereas had they have just spoken directly to each other and just sorted it out when it was this size, it wouldn't have fucking gotten to this size, and then no one would be upset. You know,
I think what happens, right, is that I think that Rob, I've always liked him as just an entertainer. I think he does good, honest reviews. He knows his stuff. When he picks up guitars on Andertons and he does the blindfold challenges and he gets stuff right, and he's like, I can tell by the neck that this is this is that, and I judge him on that because that's why I'm watching his stuff.
That's the content you're there for.
I can be an absolute prick to loads of people. You know, I have arguments with my girlfriend, my family. I'm a human being, and I think it's very easy for people out there to look at someone who's come from, I don't want to say nothing because obviously he was something, but when he didn't have Chapman guitars and when he didn't have a big YouTube channel, he's come from here. Now he's got a lot and he's worked really hard and he's done really well, and someone's trying to bring him down, and part of it will be jealousy. I think he's a nice guy. I don't think he's a bully. I think he's done too much. I don't think so either. I just think it's small bullshit, and the whole thing about self-gain and like self-promotion. And I know at the end of one of his Instagram fucking videos the other day, he did like a thing like, oh, thank you very much, and then he was like, by the way, I'm gonna be meeting all my fans here, and it was like self-promotion. However, what else are you supposed to use your social media for?
Yeah,
that's why it's there. It's self-promotion. I think people are trying to bring him down a peg because they're jealous. I like the guy, and now he's got this much, people are like, ugh. And it's just, you know, it could have been dealt with, like you said,
it's only human to. It's just the shit follows the same the same process every single time when something like this happens. Like there was a whole hoo-ha with Jared Dines like a couple of months ago, and it's all just so gossipy. It feels like being at school again sometimes. I don't like that aspect of it because I'm like, oh, can everyone just stop arguing? I like everyone. Can you all just be friends? We're adults.
Yeah, that is true. But being devil's advocate, people do need to be held account for doing wrongdoings.
Oh, absolutely. If this is all legit, then obviously the fuck's going on.
As a case for like, let's talk about this properly rather than he said, she said.
It's the finger pointing, isn't it? You don't need that shit to actually resolve an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And the things that concern me, there were a couple of like videos that have been taken down, crowdfunding for singing lessons and stuff like that, which I was like, this does sound a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
I think if that was just transparent, it's like, you know what, I had them, the video was never made or whatever, rather than just kind of pointing the finger and trying to debunk everything aggressively and sending your subscribers out there, knowing that not harnessing them and sort of saying, look guys, don't go out there and abuse all these people or abuse these other channels. Just kind of explain, apologize where it's necessary,
and stop being so tribal.
Forward.
Stop being so tribal about things.
Oh my god,
we all live on the same planet. We all live on the same planet. We should get along.
I agree.
He's a vegan, isn't he?
He's hippie vegan.
He's
boy.
no way he's a bully.
And on that bombshell.
Oh, man.
Should we leave it on that? I'm going to get a right load of meat eaters after me now, aren't I? Hey guys, this is Sped. You're listening to the Ramble On podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at ramble_on_podcast. I'll introduce this
one. Shall we talk about NAMM then?
I thought I was introducing this one.
All right, go on then.
Fuck.
Shall we talk about NAMM then?
Let's talk about NAMM
then. Highlights. One highlight is that all of my friends are there and I am not.
I can relate to this.
Has anyone got... Right, go on, out of you two right now. It's like buzzer game. First to answer. Who has a highlight, piece of gear, whatever, go.
I have a highlight. I really, really, really liked, and I only actually saw this through you, Sped, the pink PRS Silver Sky. I thought it was gorgeous, and I want one of these.
Ooh.
Wow.
Tasty.
I
yum,
DM'd
yum.
it to you, didn't I?
You did, and you were like, oh my God. Oh, God.
I think I actually put get two and get me one.
You did say this. You did actually say that, exactly.
So have you seen it, Churd?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yummy.
It's so nice. I love, like, that got so much, again, internet abuse, like, when it came out.
Oh, yeah.
As being like, it's just a Strat. It's just a Strat. And it's like, no one moaned when Sir started doing, like, you know, Strats, or Ibanez for the Andy Timmons model, you know, that style, or when Exotic do them as well. It's just, he was getting a load of abuse because he'd left Fender and gone to a different company and asked for the same guitar kind of thing. But the way it's been retooled, the birds are small, the headstock's flipped, the little heel.
I think it's pretty.
It's so nice. It's pretty.
It's
it really is.
nice. It's like just in PRS fashion. It is everything. Just elegant. Just nice and elegant.
First time I played one, actually, Sophie, interestingly, was at that convention where I met you.
Oh, that was ages ago. That was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was it?
It was in
South
London. It was
it?
Kempton Park Racecourse.
So there was a couple there at the back end of the hall, and I picked one up. And I was playing one with Danny, and it was just like... It felt beautiful.
Yeah.
So it played beautifully.
Straight away.
It sounded amazing. Every pickup, like John says, you know, it's not like when you pick up a Strat and you find yourself rolling the tone off to about 6 or 7, so that you get rid of that kind of aggressive bite.
It is.
Like when, you know, same with like a wah pedal. No one really wants it fully cocked. You got to kind of work with it, and it's just... So much thought had gone into it for years, and it's a beautiful guitar. And those new finishes, like, I want one. I
want me a pink guitar. So you never know. You know, that might be it.
The nebula finish, by the way, that was beautiful.
I saw that as well. Yeah, that was really cool. Very cool.
I mean, anything that says nebula, I was just like, wow, I feel like I'm in space.
Oh.
I need that guitar. That's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, I have an obsession with space.
They've done something fancy with the pickups as well, apparently.
Really?
They've got some TCI pickups going on.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Paul put a video out like about 2 hours ago.
Oh.
And
don't know why I don't know that then.
Yeah, right.
I've been here for an hour 20, Churd. What were you doing?
I'm watching YouTube right now.
Fucking. He's cheating on us.
Yes.
Yeah, check that out because they're supposed to be voiced particularly well.
Deliciousness.
Oh, cool.
Wonderful. How about you guys? What do you have any NAMM gear highlights that you really liked?
Victory. I love Victory. They've just brought out you know how they've been doing like the preamps.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got like a Kraken preamp and a Countess preamp and a Sheriff preamp.
Yeah.
Well, they've brought out a Duchess one, but they've now stuck 180 watt solid state on the back of it. It's got 4 tubes in the front, and it's tiny, and that's all you need to take as an amp.
Impressive. That's cool.
And it's Martin Kidd valves.
The whole thing.
And it's 2 kilograms. It's less than 2 kilograms.
Wow.
You can.
So that whole. Didn't Chris Buck wasn't Chris Buck like unveiled this, and they were like, "Wow, I didn't expect it to be that."
Chris Buck and Phil Short on the little demo.
Yeah.
And you plug in a 9-volt DC. It can power up to 500 milliamps of other pedals. You can even have a Strymon on there.
Wow,
that's impressive. Very impressive.
And then there's reverb and tremolo built into it. There's a speaker out and a line out. It's got 180 watts of solid state power.
Okay.
And it's at 4 ohms. But if let's say most of my cabinets are 8 ohms, that's like 2/3 of the power. So it's really loud. And then and then there's a separate out. So for people who like to use IRs, so if you wanted to plug it into a cabinet simulator and send that to front of house, you could just take literally a pedal board and plug like one power cable into it and then 2 leads out, and you've got a consistent sound every night. But it's Valve. It's Valve.
But you could turn up to your gig like this, couldn't you?
Yeah.
It's like you're holding a Subway.
All right. That is my Subway. I've got my amp on my back.
Oh, okay, right, nice.
It's
got a meatball.
From previous chats we've had, I still haven't bought something to solve that issue.
We had a whole. By the way, Sophie, we had a whole episode last time where Churd was supposed to buy something to do with IRs, and then Strymon brought out their pedal.
Literally the day after.
And that wasn't even in the mix then. The day after the episode came out, and he still hasn't bought that.
Yeah.
So
because I was waiting for NAMM.
You need to go shopping.
I was waiting for NAMM, and then Victory have brought this out. I was going to buy a 2 notes captor just to tide me over. And they've now also brought out the Captor X, which is essentially their captor plus a Cab M.
Yeah.
And then more things. But then Victory brought this little preamp thing, and I'm like, ooh. Because I normally take a Countess around with me, and it sounds lovely. Quick anecdote about, I took it into the studio just before Christmas, and we took the Countess in, turned it up to full, in a soundproof room, and then the guy who's on the desk, and he just came and knocked in on the control room and went, I thought you'd left the door open. Because it was so loud.
Wow.
But the door, like both doors were closed. It's soundproofed, and I'm in another room in the control room with everything patched through, and just this glorious, just overdrive sound.
That's sick.
That's ridiculous.
Very cool.
My highlight, since you asked, is
what's your highlight, Sped?
I was actually going to go with. To be honest, one thing that did take me by surprise, I'm just going to chuck it in there because obviously you all know I'm obsessed. Onyball brought out a crap load more options for slinkies to the point where I now can't remember any of the packets' names or what gauges they are, but what I do know is that there would at least be one option for every single string gauge. If I needed it, it's there, from regulars to like hybrids. They've got Hyper, Mighty, Turbo, Skinny Top, Beefy Bottom, Mondo, and Magnum.
Beefy Bottom. Nice.
8s to 42s, 8.5s to 40s, 9.5s to 46, 10s to 54s, 10.5s to 52s, and 12s to 56.
Are you excited about this?
I am, because I used to moan about like needing like 9.5s to 46s. Why don't they do a 9.5 to 10s? And they've just gone and done it. And they've called it turbo, and I'm like, oh my god, I think I'm turbo guy. I think I am turbo man. I'm going to put it on.
Turbo spedding.
I am the turbo man.
Genuinely, the reason why these podcasts exist is because me and Sped would I'd have him shouting in my ear about string gauges and that he's going to get this on his Les Paul and his Strat. It doesn't feel right, and he's taken it to the tech. He's put these strings on, and then I'm like, put elixirs on it, and he's like, nope. They feel different. They say 10s, but they're not 10s.
No one plays elixirs.
No.
So I can imagine why you're highlighting strings.
Elixirs, right? You put them on. If they say they're 10s, they're not. They're 10.2. Just because that coating, I can tell the difference. I've tried it. It's not. I'm not getting into this again. I'm moving on.
I refuse.
Phil X, I'm going to do this next segment like a news presenter so that we cover everything so that people can then send us some questions and feedback. Phil X has now moved away from Framus and is playing Gibson. Did you all know that?
I didn't know that.
I thought that was quite interesting. I saw him on Mary Spender's story, and I was like, oh, no way. Is this a joke? Because he's like, oh, my God, like, nah, I now play Gibson. And I thought he was going to go, just joking, man, I play Framus. But he was like, no, I play Gibson, so rock and roll, see you later. I was like, okay, Phil X now plays Gibson.
Wow.
In my opinion, Gibson has a certain sort of vibe about it. And I feel like Phil X should have always played Gibson. Like, he's a Gibson player in my mind. He's classic rock and roll. He just screams that kind of vintage look, like SGs, Les Pauls, Flying Vs. I'm pretty sure he's Framus. Like, his signature is just an SG without a neck pickup, isn't it? Anyway, so Pia, I thought that was really cool. Steve Vai. One thing I'll say just quickly about the Pia, it looks very much like a gem, obviously, because that's what it is. It's the gem sort of reimagined years later, the evolution of it. Steve Vai, I will always have a soft spot for him. I don't listen to much nowadays, but he makes me feel like I'm 14 when I'm watching him, because I'm like, I used to sit in my bedroom just going like, oh wow, I wish I was that good. He still, like Danny Del Cruz sent me an inbox of one of the press shots of the Pia. He's basically doing like a gym squat going, and I was like, that is amazing. Only Steve Vai could get away with that. And he's deadly serious. He's got jewelry on.
Yeah.
The Pia. And I was like, I will never own one. I'm sure I would play it, and it would play incredible. It's just, it's too much guitar for me. I would never need that much guitar. I worry that I don't think it's enough guitar for Steve Vai, because that's how much he's got to give. But yeah, the other thing that I liked was Exotic. I've brought out Exotique, which is a Californian custom guitar lineup, tailored guitar building, now offered by Exotic. Those flamed maple necks that Exotic stick on their guitars are some of the nicest necks, besides mine and Sophie's, that I've ever seen. No offense, Churd. And they are absolutely gorgeous. Like, I need to get myself to Peach Guitars to try some out, but I keep commenting on Exotic's Instagram saying, you owe me another set of tits because you've just blown mine off again, and they keep liking them every single time.
That's amazing.
But they look stunning, so I was really really blown away by but I love the road worn kind of series, the way everything looks like vintage. They do it so well. I just hope, I need to, like I said, to get myself in. I'm being very vain here. The way that they look, beautiful. If they played well, I could see myself going, I want to get one of those. So yeah, those were my highlights from what I've seen so far. And anything free, Luna, like I said, I'm interested, because I'm going to download that and see if it works, see if it sounds great. To be honest, I don't think there's much software out there that can make me sound any better than I already do, but I'll give it a go, you know?
Amazing. Oh.
I'm wondering, I reckon 100% of the people that were listening to the podcast at this point would have just pressed the space bar and pressed Command Q.
Don't need to do Guess the Guitarist, my one, then, do we? Guess the Guitarist Mark II.
Off you go, Churdles.
Are you guys ready?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't know who that is, but Sophie hears and Sophie likes this. It sounded great.
Beautiful. Is it me in my wildest dreams? I was going to say I wish it was Larry Basilio, because she plays like that. It sounds like Vi, and it also sounds like the I think he's a Japanese dude who did loads of demos for Laney for a while. It sounds like him as well.
I don't know. I don't have any names, but I like it. So who is it? Tell me.
He is called Per Nilsson.
I've not heard of this guy.
He's from a band. Originally, I found him from a band called Scar Symmetry. And he now plays for Meshuggah.
Oh, cool.
Oh, sweet.
But he's like so melodic and he can shred for days. But
it's very tasteful shredding. Good shredding.
That's what everyone says.
It was very Vi, wasn't it?
It was very Vi. I really liked it though.
Little flutters of a sweep and then every single perfectly targeted note within.
He just has a beautiful
solo
way of phrasing things. And
the phrasing.
I went to go watch him once in Manchester. I got right to the front and I touched his guitar. He went to like put his guitar on. I went to touch it and he took it away and I was like, no. And he saw me. He saw me devastated and he put the headstock back in my reach and I touched it and I was like, oh, it's amazing.
Oh. Okay, so all right. So now we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions. So, Sped, what are your New Year's resolutions?
Mine are basically, I took a look at my YouTube channel because it's something that's super important to me. I've been growing it for years and I've just gone over 20,000 subscribers. I kind of let it slip a little bit since I moved to London. I was in a bit of a crux because I didn't want to spend all my free time when I was job hunting to get my money to survive down here. But I didn't want to spend all my time making videos because they weren't generating enough income. So I didn't. And then I would hunt for jobs, not get a job, and then think, oh, I should have just made a YouTube video. And it was like, oh my God, it was such a crap place to be in. But I've got such a loyal, great little community there, and I want to make content for people. I want them to know where they're at. So I've launched Legendary Licks on the first Monday of every month. Bluesy Tuesday on the second Tuesday of every month, and then this week and the next week I am launching 2 more new series. So I'm going to do at least 1 video a week, and then the podcast at least 1 episode a month, as well as taking more photos, making more short films with Gab, just generally pouring all my heart and soul, my energy into creative projects. So that's YouTube, but then the other thing is going to be writing a lot of songs with you, as you know, and getting, as soon as we had that 2-hour chat yesterday about stuff, it was like I had a 5 a.m. I haven't had a 5 a.m. in a very long time. I thought I was getting old, and it's just when you're working with someone who's got the same kind of drive and goal as you, it's so important because it reignite something in you, and it's like, yes, I've got loads of ideas, and I wrote like 2 ideas, and I sat down and I did like a 9-hour session, and I haven't done that for ages. And the reason is because I didn't think there was any point, because there was nowhere for it to go, no outlet for it. And as soon as you're like, oh, we could do this together or something, it's inspiring. It's inspiring, exactly. Thanks, Churd. And it's like doing this podcast with Churd is another inspiring thing as well, and meeting new people and stuff. And I just think it's super important that you plan, prep, because I've looked at so many big channels and I've been like, you know what? Oh God, I wish I had that many subscribers or whatever, or that pull. But it takes planning, as you know, when you started planning your course and all that for your Patreon and everything. You have to plan. You've got to stick to it, and I think if you build it, people will come. It's
being super consistent is the main thing, really. Exactly. Always delivering the same standard, if not obviously always on a upward slope. You want to always be going better, but just being consistent so people will see you as someone reliable, I guess. It applies to literally all areas of the music business, all content creation and stuff. For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, that's me anyway. That's where I'm up to.
Yeah. Very nice. How about you, Churd?
Mine's the same as it has been for a while. I am a bad procrastinator.
Sped said this.
You are the master of procrastinating, aren't you?
Yeah.
Master procrastinator.
He gets so frustrated with me. It's not even funny.
I think it's good though that I'm there to give, because I can procrastinate, but I procrastinate a lot less than you. And doing these kind of things, I feel good that we're doing stuff together and like giving each other a shove, you know. So
yeah. I think people need that just in general. I think everyone's got a little bit of a procrastinator in them, and if you surround yourself with good people, then
yeah.
Like I'm in fantastic company at the moment, and the best people to talk to about YouTube stuff. So I'll pick your brains about that. But my New Year's resolution is to put out at least a video a week. You've
got the skills, you've got the gear, you know you can do it. It's just
well, I made one yesterday.
Exactly.
And put it up, and but that's not on my channel. That was on my Giant Peach channel.
It's really well done, mate. And like people who've been doing YouTube for years still aren't. Not sound like a prick, but there's people who aren't doing stuff as good as what you've done. So just do it more often. Just my advice is just, not that you've asked for it, but here it is. It's literally
I have
the times that you'll sit down and play Overwatch or do something for like 5 or 6 hours, or go out for a few pints. Just take one night in where you think, I'll plan a video, I'll make it, I'll edit it, and it's going. And when it goes out, you think, everything I want to do this week is justified.
Sped looks so drunk right now.
Do I? Well, just in case, because of Skype, or because I am.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's one of my New Year's resolutions, is to be able to drink more than one can and a bit of Morrison's own.
That's funny.
But yeah, no. So the main thing with YouTube videos, I appreciate the advice, but it's my issue is always, what do I want to put out? Like, I've currently put out a cover video, and I'm sure this will resonate with both of you. What's the inspiration for the next video? I did a video, like I said, yesterday, which is a promo video, and it was literally just we did a wedding for a lovely couple, and they asked us to play their first dance, and the song we'd ended up doing, we just recorded it and did a video of it, and we thought, that'd be nice to give them, and that just turned out to be something that ended up looking good enough to stick on the channel.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, why can't I think of ideas quick enough? Like I could pull 20 different lessons from my week that I've taught various people that would make amazing videos. It's just doing it, mate. It's just doing it.
You see, there's nothing to do with planning or ideas.
It's confidence.
It's honestly, it's laziness and procrastination.
All right, all that.
Because you've just said you've got 20 ideas. Yeah, exactly.
You have to make it as part of your weekly schedule. Like Friday and Saturday is filming days for me every week, and it has to be. And I don't do anything else. Like, people know this about me. I don't have a social life. It is literally, my social life is making videos for social media. That's it. Yeah,
but the age you're at now, I was speaking to Gab before, like she said when she chatted to you yesterday, she was just like, Sophie's amazing, like what a lovely person. And the fact that you're your age, and I don't know if you realise, but by the time you're my age, you should be in a position where you're sorted. You could live anywhere in the world being a musician, because you're going to have 10 more years.
That's it, I guess, yeah.
Of growing yourself and your social presence. You're going to be self-sufficient and be able to go and live in New York for 6 months, because...
That'd be sick.
No, you will. That's what's going to happen.
I hope so. I mean, at the same time, though...
I'll be there.
Yeah, of course you will, mate. At the same time, though, like, I can't imagine doing anything else right now. Like, that is what feels right. So I'm hoping that's just for a reason, like... That's all I want to do at the moment, I guess. Well, it's not all I want to do, but, it's part of it.
No, totally.
That's brilliant. It's nice to hear that from other people who are doing it, to go, oh no, you just do it. Make it regular thing.
Yeah, it gets easier as well. The more you do it, the more confidence you get. It gets easier, you get quicker. It's not a hassle. Yeah.
Well, when we're all at NAMM next year, this will all be in the past, won't it?
We'll be looking back. Oh, look where we were all a year ago, and now look where we are now in NAMM.
What about you, Soph? What about your resolutions?
So my resolutions are basically, last year was the first sort of year I felt for me was like, it sounds weird, discovering myself a little bit. I still don't have everything figured out, but basically last year on a bigger scale. So a lot happened last year, as you know, and everyone obviously who follows my socials does. That was my first year kind of doing social media seriously. My following jumped massively, which was totally unexpected. I mean, I really worked hard for it. I was posting stuff every day and it was consuming me. But basically what I did last year, but on a bigger level, obviously want to still be rolling in, working with more companies, more brands, still, you know, on the up with the social media thing. But like the most important thing for me, and I've said this outright a few times, is getting some music out at last. So I have 2 projects I'm working on right now. Obviously, you're part of one of them, Sped, which I'm really excited about. That is a very sort of recent thing. Literally, yesterday was the kick up the arse, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was.
And now I'm literally feeling so inspired, which is really refreshing because I've been floating around for the last 6 months like, what the fuck am I doing? Having an identity crisis. And then
I've just come out of one, so we're
okay. That's good. As long as we're both out of it now, you know, we're set. I guess we're going to find out. But so I've got the project with Sped we're doing, which obviously more news will follow on that soon as it develops. And then the other one, I want to do a solo project where I collaborate with a load of different guitarists. So it's going to be instrumentals, but I want to like get a lot of feature solos and stuff from my favorite guitarists on the gram, you know, people I've come to meet through the gram over the years and stuff like that. And for me it would just be a really good challenge to do a project like that and just be so in control of it. It's quite daunting and scary, but I feel like I need it to grow. Sorry, wait, how do I phrase that? I need to do it to help myself grow, if that makes sense, as a songwriter and as a musician. Like, yeah, that's what I mean. So that's what's on for me. No resolutions as such, just what I want to do with myself this year. I actually want to have something to show for myself. That's pretty much it.
No, that's working towards tangible creative projects, something to put out for people to enjoy, consume, and support you as well, isn't it? You know, it's important that, like you said, you put out EPs or whatever, make music videos. It's just, I'm super happy when I don't think about anything when I'm doing that. Well, I don't think about anything other than just what I'm doing when I'm recording or playing live.
Yeah.
And like we said, for me, playing live is the one thing I miss the most.
Same.
So that's another one of mine. Get back into
Me
the swing of
too.
things.
It's gonna be weird. It's gonna happen though.
We have like the opposite goals. I want to do more YouTube stuff.
We want to be playing, See, I was doing that. I was on the grind. Needed some time out.
Yeah.
But you don't realize how much you miss it until you are out of it, and then you're like, shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I love playing live, and I'm dead lucky we've just started a new band, and we've got some new stuff coming out, and
that's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, keep us in the loop with that.
2020 should be good.
I hope so. So we're going to do some Guess the Guitarist now, and it is my turn, and I'm trying to look for this video. Here we go, wait. All right. Are we ready?
Ready.
We are.
Who do you think that is?
I think I know who that is.
Who is that? Who is that, Churd?
I'll tell you.
I know who
Sped
it is.
guesses.
I follow them. Go on, Chad.
Is that Tim?
It is Tim.
It's
Congratulations.
Tim
Hooray.
Yeah.
It's Tim Henson.
You've turned into a slow motion. You've turned into a slow motion alien, Chad.
He's all right for me.
It'll come out on camera. Tim Henson.
Polyphia.
Tim Henson's from Polyphia.
Ah, well done.
So good. So good.
I like this segment because even though it's either someone niche who we've not heard before, and I can go, here's Per Nilsson, or it's one where we go, this guy's got a sound.
Yeah, he has definitely got a sound. That's Tim
the sound
Henson.
of the gram.
That's it. That is the sound of the fucking gram. That is.
That is the sound of the gram. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Like, he makes a clean guitar just like pop.
Yeah.
And it's like,
so that hybrid picking.
It's mad. It's magic.
It's very cool.
That style is ever growing right now, isn't it? Like, it's super. It's like the millennial kind of evolution of guitar to play it in that fashion, and it's super popular.
Is it Tim that's got the pink Ibanez?
I don't think it's pink. I don't know. The one he's playing in that was black and gold. And I have to admit that is the only Ibanez I've ever seen that I actually like. Dun, da, da, da. I don't like Ibanez usually, but the Tim Henson one I do like a lot.
I've got a really nice Ibanez actually.
Oh wait, I like the semi-acoustic Ibanez as well, but the shredder ones I don't like.
I've got a shredder one.
Oh God.
I would like to say a big thank you to Sophie for joining us on our third podcast.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sophie. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thanks so much, everyone, for listening today. This has been episode 3 and our first ever guest, Sophie Burrell.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Burrell or Burrell, whichever you prefer.
Burrell it's just 5% more elegance to it, and I think you deserve that.
Oh, thank you. We'll roll with Burrell then, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been fun. You've been really great. And thank you for sharing all your thoughts, your wisdom, your knowledge.
Thank you for having me. It has been most wonderful, and I'm sure I'm drunk by this point.
We all are. That's the point.
It's great. Okay. Awesome.
Churd? It's been emotional, mate, as always. It took you about 5 seconds to reply then, but don't worry, you can put that in post. I'll catch up with you soon. I'll see you in February in person, where we're going to do an episode in person, won't we?
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. I get to come visit your gaff.
The gaff that I'm currently in is the gaff that I'm 1 minute late to a Skype lesson. So, I've been Sped. This is the Ramble On podcast. See you in the next one. Ta-ra! That was a bit Neil Buchanan, but it'll work.